Hello, everyone, and a very happy new year. I welcome you all to the brand new season of Hacker TV. Hacker TV is the in house podcast of Rajasthan's biggest hackathon, AceHack, and this year we are bringing the fourth edition of AceHack, that is AceHack 4.0. और आज से साल के फर्स्ट डे से ही we have launched the hackathon and announced our theme and the dates of the hackathon. So please go ahead and check that out and do stay connected with our socials to get notified when we open the registrations, which will be very soon. बहुत ही जल्दी open होने वाले हैं registrations. So please go ahead and follow all the necessary steps so that you don't miss out on anything for this amazing 24-hour hackathon experience जहाँ पे you'll not only code and build but also innovate, elevate, and transform your levels to the next year. I'm your host Biraj, and this is the first episode of Hacker TV. Our first guest for this season is a developer relations engineer at Tezos India. He is a technical content writer and, in no doubt, a tech enthusiast, Mr. Tauqeer Ahmad.
Hey everyone,
Hello, Tauqeer. How
dear,
are you
dear,
doing?
absolutely good. And first of all, Happy New Year 2025. I hope
Yeah,
everyone watching this out is great and doing good in their life.
a very
Yeah,
happy
Happy
new year
Raj.
to you too.
Thank
So,
you.
can you start by introducing yourself and telling us
Absolutely,
how you
absolutely.
got into blockchain and DevOps?
Yeah, first of all, I'll be like heading towards. First of all, thank you so much to the team,
Yeah,
especially you, Viraj and Sumit, for
yes,
getting me onto the stage and inviting me for this podcast. I
definitely.
hope everyone will be learning so much from this, right? So, hey everyone, I am Taki and I work as a developer relations engineer at Tezos from the India region. So, Tezos is an open source blockchain on the Alpha system, and we independently advance our upgrades on everyone's daily. Correct. So I work as a developer relations. I manages all the community skills and uh, love to enable them and how they're building around the Web3 space and the blockchain, precisely the Tezos. So here we are. Thank you, Viraj. Over to you as well. Um, uh, your mic is there.
So, आपका जो ये concept है ना of blockchain and DevOps एक साथ, तो
Hmm.
what really inspired you to explore both of these areas? आपको inspiration exactly कहाँ से मिली? Because a lot of people these days वो लोग Web3 में घुसना चाहते हैं but they don't know where to start. और DevOps में बहुत opportunities दिखते हैं but same problem again, they don't know where to start. So आपने कैसे शुरुआत की और आपको कैसे inspiration मिली इन चीजों में?
The answer comes as very straightforward. Just build. Okay, let me explain it. I was started as a club lead, or not even as a club lead at my college, Jamia Hamdard, back in 2022, as a public relations lead. In the
Right.
clubs, now we get a lot of roles. So one of my very good friends started it, and I was just a peer lead from there at the Tezos club. At that moment, some other developers used to manage the team at Tezos.
Right.
So one day, I was doing all of the shifts around, reading the documentation and building a lot of the people, inviting a lot of folks. Like the way you invited me, I used to invite a lot of folks in my college,
Right.
and they used to build. I, along with them, used to build and see how they are narrating the concept and how they are realizing if they are on the stage, if I am on the stage, how I'll be producing the thing or advocating the thing. So
Right.
this had me to document the thing. Start with the blockchain as well because blockchain 101 is available to everyone, I guess, on the
Huh.
YouTube or anything is available for free. I believe at that moment we were about to get ChatGPT.
Right.
At that moment, it wasn't released yet. It
Huh.
was in the prototype. In the next month, we got the ChatGPT, and I was
Right.
like, let's see how it helps me out to do up the stuff. I was in the blockchain club like Tezos and all. So what I did, I simply wrote on the prompt, create me a this thing on Tezos. I
Right.
knew nothing, not even the word named as smart contract, nothing, zero.
So that worked.
And yeah, let me tell you, it
Yeah.
helped me. The ChatGPT gave me a prompt, an answer like, "Hey Tokir, if you are a very beginner, First of all, you have to understand the terminology.
Yeah.
He told me about the smart contract, the address, the wallet, the type of wallet, the custodial, not custodial thing, and everything.
Right.
Then it told me about the layers of blockchain, the types of blockchain, the companies of blockchain, right? And how it is being distinguished among the different, the networks, the
Right.
Ethereum network,
Right.
the Elva network, the Tezos network. If
Huh.
someone has a Polygon, you might be heard about the Polygon network. So it guided me about the in a very simple way. It was in English and I was reading aloud the thing. Then they told me or guided me how to do the code. So it redirected me simply on where the code base on different code base. I won't be promoting anything because Telos has their own code base, so I cannot permit it out.
Yeah.
So it pushed me over that. I just simply copy pasted the code. I was just knowing the basic JavaScript and Python. The other people do, the Web2 players do the things, and I did the thing, and it built.
Right.
I installed a wallet, and it built. I was like, okay, I just need to do along nothing, and everything is available. I also like AI also helped me out to
Huh.
learn the documentation. It
Right.
always guided me ki, hey Toki, just do not rely upon us, use the documentation.
Right.
Use the documentation. So documentation is the god. I repeat in the podcast, documentation is the god. Use it, right? And afterwards you get a lot of stress on the internet. So there's nothing like that. Talking about the DevOps, you asked me about the question about DevOps, how
Huh.
I get inclined towards it. So, one of my very good friend, I recently met him at KubeCon and the GitHub Get Together universe. Uh, Kunal Bhaiya, I cannot take his name fully. He's very senior human. Kunal Bhaiya, and he always take use the name of DevOps, the Kubernetes. I wasn't even like Kubernetes is a tool which comes in a DevOps. I was that dumb at that moment, and I tried to explore the things. I had my code on the GitHub, or different
Right.
people had a lot of codes on their GitHub. So what I used to do at my learning state of Docker, I'm still learning. There's nothing like I have ended learning. You have to learn every day. So
Definitely.
everybody's thinking like he has learned everything, learn nothing needed. You have to learn daily. So what I used to do, clone the repository on my local, right?
Hmm.
And try to understand their problem and Dockerize the way they are using on their non-production. I
Right.
using the word non-production because in the
Right.
local state, it's in
Hmm.
the debugging state.
Right.
That time I Dockerize it, push it on a GitHub container registry or any sort of Docker hub, like any sort of container registry,
Hmm.
it is on the production level. So I
Okay.
change my mindset. I'm coding as well as debugging as well as pushing, making it on the production state. So this helped me to incline towards the DevOps, like, hey, I'm doing up the shit. That
Hmm.
time it got compiled successfully, everything is there, and my image is running successfully on the container. I was like, hey, I just did a humongous thing in my life. And then I pointed towards the Kubernetes, any sort of things like Jenkins and all. Jenkins are like tools which help me to like that's these are the side tools, not the major tools. But
Hmm.
the time we step into a Kubernetes and all, it was like, hey, where did I step in, man? Please get me back. But there was no getting back. I was like, I need to do it. And in fact, on my the way I'm sitting here on
Yeah.
my like Mac right now, on my second screen, it's already the Kubernetes cluster going on. I have a lot of problems here stuck with the Nginx right now. So use the documentation and it helped me to like the time I got built a successful thing. It helped me motivated me to dive more into it and how it is being elongated towards a Web3 and how these Web3 people are also diving to DevOps and how these DevOps helping to pull them off to the different multiverse or different stage is incredible. So this helped me to dive into it. So yeah, so
Right.
that's my
This is actually a very interesting take on the entire topic because आपने जो जिस चीज पे emphasize किया that is documentation. आजकल काफी लोग they just skip that part. They skip the documentation part, right? Because they don't want to get into the details. इतना पढ़ने के बाद इतने सारे scripts पढ़ने के बाद they don't want to do that. But it is a very important part of the process, right?
yeah, absolutely. I must say again, like it's a very, very important step. I repeat again. user documentation. One of my very good friend, I'll be mentioning him here, Aniket.
Right.
The time I used to watch him on a YouTube when I wasn't even a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. Actually, I didn't mention in the list postcard. I'm a gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador from the India region, so I lead the whole India region. So that can be kudos from the Microsoft team. Thank you to them as well. So I used to watch him on YouTube, and one day, I used to tell to myself, like one day I'll meet him. And from the past 2 years, I'd been hosting a bunch of events along with him.
That's great. That's great. That must have felt like a very good full circle moment for you.
Exactly like a wholesome moment. I met my the idol.
डेफिनेटली सो आज हम लोग यहाँ पे एसेंशियली हैकाथॉन्स की बात करने के लिए हैं एंड
Mm.
योर एरिया इज ब्लॉकचेन सो मुझे आपसे ये जानना था कि हाउ कैन स्टूडेंट्स यूज ब्लॉकचेन इन देयर हैकाथॉन प्रोजेक्ट्स बिकॉज हैकाथॉन प्रोजेक्ट्स में ब्लॉकचेन के प्रोजेक्ट्स उतने ज्यादा दिखने को नहीं मिलते हैं जितना कोई रैंडम आदमी सोचेगा बट how can students implement blockchain in their hackathon projects in such a limited amount of time?
See. First of all, you need to understand when to use a blockchain.
Hmm.
Every hackathon cannot embed it with the blockchain. Hey, this is a trending thing. If I introduce blockchain in my project, I'm the
Yeah,
winner. No,
yeah.
do not think that.
Even from what I saw is जितने भी blockchain के projects होते हैं ना either they are very good or they are very incomplete.
Exactly.
There is no average.
You ask me now. I'll be telling you. You asking me.
Yeah,
So
please continue.
I'll be narrating again. The time I was in the college, na,
Huh.
so the my senior at Tezos
Hmm.
came to my college for the introduction of Tezos, and
Okay.
I was sitting as a student only, and I heard his word, and I'll be like redirecting or narrating his word on this stage again. That if your project needs storage,
Hmm.
or if it is in the case of security and privacy, mark my words on this podcast, it needs blockchain. That's
Right.
it. You first classify your project
Hmm.
on these criteria,
Hmm.
then go ahead. The answer comes as yes, go ahead with the blockchain. Choose your thing. Choose Ethereum, Tezos. I'm not marketing any of the stuff around. Use your own way. Now, what are the things that you could be doing? Right? Their basic project, simple voting app, decentralized mechanism app, or the DeFi app, or any platform app.
Hmm.
First, you should be narrating in your mind. These apps can be built on the Web2 space as well. So why
True.
do we need the like Web3? That is the question. That is the thing we will be explaining to the maintainers as well of the hackathon.
Yeah.
The question gets a decentralization.
Hmm.
The time you heard about a decentralization, everyone start popping up. Oh, we want decentralization. No, it's not the case. Why decentralization? How decentralization? There's certain instances like you will be understanding that why decentralization because it's not be overridden by any sort of government or any sort of power on a
Hmm.
certain platform like Twitter or X.
Hmm.
Hope my Twitter is not banned after this. Decentralization typically outstand you to be on a leveraging space
Hmm.
where not being outdated or outfiltered by
Hmm.
anyone else. You have their own voice. You are
Right.
independent over there. How being transferred? Using the wallet.
Okay.
See, you are having a XYZ project,
Hmm.
right? The time you connect that project with any sort of contract, where is that contract? Is being initialized by the wallet. Where is
Huh.
that wallet? You can download any wallet from any web browser or any mobile application.
Huh.
Use the ghostnet or testnet.
Hmm.
Ghostnet is a word developed by Artezos. It typically means that it is visible, but the chain is not there.
Right.
Testnet typically means you can do anything but on the test thing,
Right.
not on the RPC full network, main network. Deploy your things on the testnet because all the wallet will be providing all the contracts using the testnet. So you might be questioning like, hey Tauqeer, how do we get all those money things? If the wallet are doing the transaction, how we do get all these things? So first of all, those money things are called certain as faucet,
Huh.
FAUCET, faucet.
Right.
So there are always limited faucet available for the ghostnets or the testnet or every network. Tezos has their own ghostnet faucet,
Mm,
Ethereum, Polygon, everyone has their own thing. Just go there on their ghostnet faucet, collect
mm,
100 or 200 or 300 faucet on your wallet, try to rebuild it,
mm.
try to connect your app along with that wallet, here you get the mechanism.
Right.
Here it is being decentralized. The time you do any transaction or
Mm,
any like you pointed out any voting using
huh.
the voting app or
Mm,
do any sort of mechanism using even a camera building app using a decentralized mechanism, it will be using that wallet
right.
or typically saying or indirectly saying using that network. The time it is on that network, it is decentralized. So
Right.
understand the like this layer. No one tells you that it is like decentralized. So what is that meant? How
Mm,
is that meant? So this is the key point. You have to understand.
right. That was
This is how majorly the things happens.
that was very that was a very practical piece of advice actually.
Mm.
Like even in hackathons, students को पता होना चाहिए कि if they really need the blockchain in their project, right? अगर उनको पता ही नहीं है कि blockchain चाहिए कि नहीं, they just want to build a blockchain project. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
तो
That was being mentored by my senior at Tezos.
हाँ,
So do you need anything like on that like the blockchain? I was like, hell yeah.
या इनिशियली यही रिस्पॉन्स होता है ना कि ब्लॉकचेन इज कूल इट लुक्स गुड सो व्हाई नॉट
Yeah.
So I'm sure you have seen a lot of blockchain projects over the years. So in your experience, what challenges do students face when they build a blockchain project in a hackathon?
Uh, See, the time they build the project now, the major problem comes as steep learning curve.
हाँ,
The time you're on the web 2 now, the in the earlier question, I must have told you about these mechanisms. They do
हाँ,
not try to understand this mechanism.
हम्म,
They just invade it, just fade out
हम्म,
all these concepts and try to build something decentralized, which they are not able to at the end of the day.
right,
I will like so the learning curve becomes very very steep. So this
हम्म,
is what I have already like check it out. Like that become very hectic for the student to then build again these against of these mechanisms and all
हाँ,
these concepts. And afterwards, adding to these points, like you must have heard about a consensus mechanism.
हम्म,
Every blockchain or every network has a consensus mechanism. Tezos
हाँ,
has LBOS, liquid proof of staking.
हम्म,
Ethereum has proof of staking.
हम्म,
Uh, Earlier it was having proof of work.
हम्म,
So no one try to understand this step on the like the first year to understand the concept. No one try to understand this. I be
right,
like, okay, we have the contract.js, we have the smartpad.js, build it.
हम्म,
Just let the maintainer get sucked at his job. We will build it.
right,
And even a shittest bunch of shit, I'll be building it. So like, that is good. Motivation is good. But please try to understand now. Let us suppose I make you understand or stand on the stage and can
हम्म,
you please explain your project? Why is it so? Or
हम्म,
not even why is it so? How is it so?
हम्म,
The answer comes is no. You won't be understanding how is it so. You
हाँ,
just did the thing and you make the thing. So please try to understand. You need to understand the concept, basic thing. You have the AI now. I
right,
also learned from the AI now.
हाँ,
You have
same,
the AI now today. Use it.
हाँ,
In fact, if
exactly,
you are able to build the code using the AI now,
हम्म,
so write in the prompt. Explain me the code as well. Why do we need it? So
हाँ,
you are getting the answer. So
Exactly, exactly. Abhi bhi, even after AI came into the picture in such a
hmm.
grand scale, अभी भी लोगों को जो छोटे-छोटे concepts होते हैं उनके बारे में नहीं पता है. As a result of which they can't fully explain the project the way they actually want to.
हाँ
तो
हाँ हाँ
वो
हाँ
presentation में बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत हो जाती है in front of the judges and mentors, right?
हाँ
तो आई एम
हाँ
होपिंग कि आपकी एडवाइस लेके हमारे जो हैकर्स आने वाले हैं हमारे हैकाथॉन में ये सारी गलतियां ना करें. They question themselves
absolutely.
if they really need blockchain or not. I hope they put this advice into good use. So I the next question I want to ask you is
Hmm.
आप blockchain and DevOps का sort of a combination के ऊपर काम करते हैं, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
which tools should would you recommend to students to use to combine blockchain and DevOps in a hackathon? If if
Uh,
at all possible?
See, I primarily use Truffle.
Hmm.
See, I'm declaring this on the total podcast of yours. I'm using
Okay.
Truffle.
Right.
So no hate to Hardhead. I'm really sorry, Hardhead. So I'm using Truffle right nowadays. It quite easier to understand the contract dodges because we have a lot of smart contracts and Truffle make it easier to compile it on the same place.
Right.
The time you are on the stage of production now, the DevOps level, the Docker level, you
Hmm.
have to consider every possibility while building the image.
Hmm.
How it will get compiled, what are the use cases, how the developer might be thinking while they were creating this application.
Hmm.
So you have to understand. So first of all, goes for the Truffle.
Hmm.
There's also one to Ganache.
Hmm.
I had been exploring this thing, so not totally recommend everyone to directly dive into it. Ganache is one of the tools I recently explored, and it is going good. And I believe it's also open source. You may check it out on the website, so cannot confirm it. However, apart from all of these total Web3 things, we daily use as our Web2 product as well, the GitHub
Hmm.
on the like Jenkins CI/CD. Apart
Hmm.
from Jenkins CI/CD, we if we remove it, we directly drop into GitHub Action. That is also
Right.
really good. And for the infrastructure, use it on your base. Some people never try to use the infrastructure. They use the interoperability tools, such like their product had been like
Huh.
Cluster Protocol. You can check it out on the website. Cluster Protocol is doing really great.
Hmm.
Or you can use Matcha. They have the interoperability space for the Web3. So they use it um, for their infrastructure. If you people might be heard about Akash Network.
Hmm.
Akash Network is a total decentralized cloud, right?
Okay.
So they provide a decentralized mechanism for the cloud.
Hmm.
So use it wisely. You have the infrastructure. What is infrastructure? From where you will be doing all of the stuff. From
Okay.
that moment, so these are the basic tools you use daily. For the code, you daily will be using your space, your VS Code. I
Hmm.
usually use the VS Code as well as the cursor. Recently, we have got an update on the Copilot. We can use
Hmm.
Claude 3.5. So
Right.
there's nothing using the cursor at that moment. So use VS Code. So yeah, these are the basic tools. So nothing much diving into it. So yeah.
Right. So, एक adjacent question है
Mm-hmm.
regarding the same topic. Have you ever seen anyone or any group in a hackathon to successfully implement this blockchain and DevOps together in a project?
No. See, the first question is good. For the DevOps part is nothing like that because they aren't sufficient to handle the DevOps,
Right.
right? For the
Right.
first part is good. Back in the last hackathon I was mentoring, it was being hosted by the Tezos itself.
Mm,
It was Hack 7 days at GTVIT, Guru Tegh Bahadur College. It is in Delhi,
mm,
and there had been a lot of projects. They had deployed it successfully, and they had did the great thing. It
mm,
was finished up. It was total documentation, total reading. I meant from the documentation, I meant the readme, the code, the smart contract address, their uh, their code pipeline, and the finishes. Everything is there. It was very good. I believe 2 to 3 project won the like hack 7 days.
mm,
And even before that, back in September, the starting of the September, this September
mm,
2024,
mm.
we were hosting one hackathon at where? CIT Chennai
Okay.
from the Tezos side. So there I also got a lot of couple of project around
Mm,
there. We did the great thing. For the DevOps partner, it came as a circumstance that why do we need it? First of all, the question arises, why do we need it?
mm.
And the time they understand they need it, the hackathon is over. See,
Right.
because first of all, they need to understand, do they need a blockchain? The
Huh.
question arises. The time they resolve it, do they need blockchain? The
Mm,
time they explore there is a there's DevOps space in the blockchain as well,
mm.
the time is over.
Right.
And even if they try to dive into it, it's quite harder because
Mm,
you cannot set up any tool in a collection of minute and you just did the thing.
mm.
So that is why DevOps engineers are paid really great for this thing because it's not easy to handle this up. So yeah, for the question you asked me previously, the
Mm.
first part is really great. Second part is quite tougher. So cannot
Right.
say I will
Yeah.
got project like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's it even sounds difficult to handle these projects together, you know.
हाँ.
So I'm sure it's a very big deal. Now, another point जो आजकल के hackathons में काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स को अभी भी प्रॉब्लम होती है जिसमें that is how to successfully deploy a smart contract, right? तो कैन यू
Okay.
प्लीज इलेबोरेटली एक्सप्लेन कि एक स्मार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को सक्सेसफुली डिप्लॉय कैसे करेंगे, क्योंकि काफी लोगों को इवन मैंने खुद हैकेथॉन्स में देखे हैं कि सब कुछ कर लिया लेकिन स्मार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट डिप्लॉय करना नहीं आ रहा, उसमें बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही है। तो कैन यू एक्सप्लेन कि एग्जैक्टली exactly कैसे एक स्मार्ट
Um,
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को डिप्लॉय करना होता
Simply, that the thing you could be doing is that uh, start with the clear modularization.
है?
What do you meant by modularization of the code?
हम्म,
Make it a module.
ओके।
In the Python you must have heard about the modules.
हाँ।
Make it a module. In the Tezos we usually make the modules.
हम्म,
No one ever did the modularization of their code. You have to do it, right? It
हम्म,
helps you to read the code wisely. It helps other people to implement all of the SDLC process
हम्म,
in a simpler manner, in the queue manner,
राइट।
or like it might be saying not the queue, it should be the
हम्म,
stack manner. It
राइट।
helps you to do all of the steps around.
राइट।
There had been like frameworks like Truffle or Hardhead,
हम्म,
which help you to simplify the development part. So use it for the testing purpose using the GhostNet.
हम्म,
Make it a pipeline,
हम्म,
simply attach your wallet and deploy as much as you can. There has been no limit over that. Deploy
हम्म,
as much as you can.
हम्म,
Use it wisely, and I believe you will be getting at least 2 to 3 successful contracts on that purpose.
राइट।
This is what I had been doing, and the one who had been winning a lot of hackathons had been doing this shit, so nothing like that.
हम्म। हाँ, तो
So
दिस वाज वन ऑफ द कॉमन मिस्टेक ट्रेंड्स दैट आई सॉ इन माय एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ हैकाथॉन्स। तो आई एम श्योर कि आपने भी ऐसे काफी सारे कॉमन मिस्टेक्स देखे होंगे।
I what
तो कुछ ऐसे मिस्टेक्स कैन यू शेयर विद अस जो यूजुअली पीपल मेक इन ब्लॉकचेन प्रोजेक्ट्स?
blockchain project. Okay,
हाँ, कॉमन मिस्टेक्स।
please, please, always share your smart contract address.
या।
How would any Tauqeer Ahmad in this world would get to know that where have you deployed your contract?
राइट।
Or my team, how would anyone in
ऑफ
this
कोर्स।
world would get to know that XYZ person has deployed their contract?
ऑफ कोर्स।
Second thing, the time you uses your any of the framework environment like Hardhead, Truffle, or let us suppose you are using a smart file. At least mention their README view.
ओके।
How would I get to know at which version
राइट।
will you be pulling this off?
हाँ, ये मैंने भी नोटिस किया है काफी।
At the smart file, we have around the 60 to 70 version, and
हम्म,
you want me to try every version.
राइट।
How this is possible? How much time I having? No.
मेक सेंस ऑफ कोर्स।
And thirdly, which I had been also got the as review from one of my seniors while back in 2022 or 2021, I guess.
हम्म,
That was my very first hackathon. Create a good README
हम्म,
documentation. Actually, it creates an impact
या।
while you are doing up or mentoring or like judging the project now.
हम्म,
It uh, like increases the chances of winning the hackathon if you have a good README.
या। या।
It impresses the people because it you are making the work of the like moderator or the
हाँ।
contributor or the maintainer or the like the manager of the hackathon
हम्म,
easier, a
easier,
lot easier. You
definitely।
just win the heart of that person and you win the hackathon.
एग्जैक्टली, एग्जैक्टली।
So please.
एंड पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से शेयर कर रहा हूँ कि हैकाथॉन्स जितने भी मैं इन्वॉल्व था, जिनके रीड मी अच्छे होते हैं ना, जनरली दोज आर द पीपल हु विन द हैकाथॉन, बिकॉज वी आर इम्प्रेस्ड, हमारा काम इजी हो जाता है टू चूज द
Huh?
प्रोजेक्ट्स, सो व्हाई नॉट?
Even though some projects are there and they do not have the good README, even their project they are not having any sort of README or documentation.
या।
I believe these people, those projects are not bad. I believe they went underdog.
या।
They went underdog,
हाँ।
and at the end of the day, we do it slower than.
हम्म,
But yeah, The season might have got
Yeah,
passed,
but
and
there
yeah,
are
let's
some
see on the next one.
certain things that you need to make sure to include in your project, right? जो छोटी छोटी चीजें होते हैं, छोटी attention to detail.
Huh.
Readme, having a good readme is like having good attention to detail. That's all.
Attention to detail adds typically a cherry on the top.
Yeah.
And also, hackathon is not only hackathon that you are sitting on a laptop and doing a lot of stuff around. It is also like making good connections, getting around the space, getting around that place, building a good connection, getting to know how they are building the code, what is their
Huh.
thought process.
Exactly.
So use that because hacking is not always about the coding. It's always
Exactly.
about the getting connected with the people who are doing coding.
Exactly. Exactly. And,
So yeah.
तो ब्लॉकचेन के रिलेटेड जब प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं इन हैकाथॉन्स अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स लोग बोलते हैं कि वी couldn't finish this because we didn't have enough time. They just blame it on the time constraints. So what advice would you give to the students to manage time effectively during blockchain related projects in a hackathon?
For the blockchain related project, huh, I always say that, go for the smart contract part first.
Hmm.
Create a smart contract GL. Clear with the smart pricing for the if you are on the Tezos. Any
Hmm.
of the like point, clear a smart contract.
Right.
Even if you're coding now, you will be building in the especially in the Web3. You can get
Hmm.
your front end, you can get your back end. Use a code, use a AI. You will be getting up the things because today we have the GitHub Spark. In a collection of seconds, it
Hmm.
can create an unimaginable front end. So you have the code for the front end.
Hmm.
Just spend your time on the smart contract
Right.
because the time you are decentralizing the mechanism now,
Hmm.
how smoothly you transit the Web 2 to Web 3,
Hmm.
how the way it is the showing the beauty. Here you win it.
Right.
Just do it
Right.
because you have the back end and front end from the AI. You do it because
Yeah.
it has a lot of code base. It
Huh.
can do it. Spend your time in this, please.
Right. That's
Mark
very
my words.
useful advice. That's a very useful advice. So, now my final question to you is what advice would you give to students who want to succeed with blockchain and DevOps in a hackathon? जैसे कि आपने अभी मेंशन किया कि
Uh-huh.
दोनों एरियाज में you haven't seen very successful projects,
Uh-huh.
right? So what advice would you give to the students who are willing to make a successful project in both these areas in a hackathon?
See, in collection of second or in collection of line, I'll be completing this answer.
Yeah.
First, understand the thing that you have the basic concept,
Hmm.
or you are if you are not having, please understand it. It will take couple of minutes
Right.
or couple of hours, mainly like maximum to maximum 45 minutes. You will be having in an overview. Or please, there's a to-do trick. You're getting in a Web3 space or Web3 hackathon. You know,
Yeah.
see, so get the things ready or learn from the home now. Why to
Right.
waste it? Just get the things done now. As previously said, spend your time mostly on the smart contract part. How smoothly you are doing the transition from the Web 2 or the Web 3 using the wallet thing. Leave it, the back end and the front end, it will be solved by the AI. Use the AI fully.
Hmm.
For the DevOps partner, if you want to succeed, if you want to win the heart, README is good. But if you are like influencing or creating an efficiency in your SDLC process, what is that? Software development lifecycle.
Yeah.
Create the Docker.
Right.
Create the Docker. Leave it. The pipeline should be read it because if you are not into the total production where you will be doing up the stuff, the pipeline will be read out and the deployment will be done. Just leave it. Create a Docker, multi-share and multi-pipeline. Yeah, use it.
Right.
Reduce the image size using the multi-share and make it for the different platform
Hmm.
for the Mac, for the Windows operating system using the multi-platform system from the Docker. Push it on the GitHub container registry and tell the maintainer, I have my code. You can use the image.
Right.
Just deploy it. That person will be like, oh, boom, you're not even like showing up the stuff. That process is called abstraction in the OOPS also,
Oops concept. Yeah.
right? Use it. This is how the SCDLC process in the totally in the organization or the corporation
Hmm.
works. You have your key in your with yourself. You're not showing the total code, but you are having the production ready thing.
Hmm.
Even it's working, you can win the thing. Use it.
Yeah. So I think we can all agree that working smart is a little bit more important than working hard, in especially
Mhm.
when it comes to hackathons and you have time constraints like 12-24 hours. एंड उसके बाद भी पीपल से कि हम लोग ये प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि इनफ टाइम नहीं मिला, ये नहीं था, वो नहीं था. तो आई गेस वट एवर यू सेड इन दिस पॉडकास्ट, जो भी आपने एडवाइस दिया है, आई एम होपिंग कि पीपल पुट इट टू गुड यूज बिकॉज आवर हैकाथॉन इज कमिंग अप and we have officially announced the dates. It's 8th and 9th March. It's a 24-hour hackathon, the fourth edition of AceHack, and we all are working tirelessly day and night, even while we are at home and on our vacations. So work is pretty good and it's pretty heavy, but we can't wait for hosting the participants. Every, I mean, AceHack is Rajasthan's biggest hackathon at this point,
Wow.
and we get a footfall of over 1,000 people and from multiple states around the country. So it's a big deal for us. It's a huge deal for us, and we enjoy every single second of organizing it, no matter how tired we get. So very excited for it, and thank you so much, Tauqeer, for joining with us today and sharing your wonderful insights about blockchain and DevOps with us. And it was a genuine pleasure to host you, to be very honest.
Actually, it's pleasure to have you all as a team on this stage. Thank you so much for inviting me here, and all to all the audience who will be watching this thing or watching this podcast. The tips I told you will be applied the time you have understood the problem statement.
Yeah.
So mostly spend your time on a good problem statement. Let the front end build, back end be built by the AI. Use it. You are damn sharp into that. Spend your time in the smart contract part.
Right. That's a very
Use
practical and very
use
useful
it,
advice.
please. Please. Yeah.
Thank you for all of these advices. It was lovely talking to you. And thank you everyone for watching the first episode of Hacker TV. And we will see you next time on the next episode. Until then, stay tuned, stay connected, and